Before we get into this video, pretty much going over everything with this iPhone music video that I just shot, my first ever iPhone music video. There is a GoFundMe link at the top of the description. My goal is 6.5K. We're a few $100 in. I've received some donations, not from GoFundMe. So we're about, $300, $400, $500, $600 in. And again, I'm not asking you to donate. If you feel called in your heart to be able to donate to support what I do and my business, anywhere from $1 to $10 to $100 to $1,000, anything, I truly appreciate you. And if you comment down below, send me a DM, a screenshot. I'll make sure to reply to you, repost you on my Instagram story. But that's it. And if you need more backstory, I'll go into a little bit here, but it's all in the previous video. But right now we're about to head into the actual shoot, where we came back to the same spot where all of my gear was stolen and shot it on an iPhone. So we're starting off with this gimbal shot. This is like a $30 gimbal. I'm gonna link everything in the description, and later in the video I physically go over all of the gear we used to shoot this music video. We're again filming in log format on the iPhone 15 Pro, and again we're back in the same spot where the gear just got stolen. If you don't know about that, watch the previous video. There's my KNF filter, which I'll show you, and my tripod. And we just finished it up right here, used a shot in the Tesla, which you'll see in the video. All right, so I'm at my home office now. It's a few days later. I've given Darnell both revisions of the music video. So we're gonna go and head into, hopefully it just shows up on my phone, but we're gonna dive into DaVinci. I will use for coloring, which when I know that I need some higher end coloring, but otherwise I get very good looks in Premiere, but I didn't want to hire my colorist for, a couple $100. The Premiere, I just needed the better denoiser because the iPhone footage tends to be a little bit more noisy. All right, so obviously the colors are pretty similar. It's a little more vibrant on the iPhone, so skin tones and a couple of these greens, but this is what we had. My first shot on the gimbal and 70mm was way too noisy. I don't know if it's just with because it should be the 3x lens, which should still be good, but I was again filming on the DaVinci, Blackmagic app, so I don't know the much difference with using the 70mm lens on that. But here we go. We had the sit down shot, which all of these I recreated when my gear got stolen. Honestly, this was the best shot color-wise, noise-wise, everything. It was on the wide lens at, a top right angle. Then we had this lens, which was wide. This took me a couple times to color to get it right. It's not actually the same LUT as this one, but this one is just one. I'll go into my color tab in a second, but I just did some violent, shakes like this. Some of them I tried to be a little more smooth, but again, like that, And then we had the rock shot, which this one was only on the 50mm. I honestly think with the Blackmagic app, it was cropping in because this image looked a little too pixelated and soft to be, to only be on ×2. And then we had the handheld with advanced stabilization on the Blackmagic app. So this one was pretty good. I'll still try to play some shots right now of all this. This shot was, I started at this angle, but again, it was too similar to what we had. So as he was playing, I switched over and got, like a top right shot again. The lighting changed, so I had to separate the clip. And he had the idea for this intro where, again, he had his guitar in the Tesla. We pretty much just opened the trunk and took the guitar out. And this shot was him fake plugging in his guitar. So let me show you sort of the color tab, what I got. That's the power grade I use. And again, it starts with denoise, pre-look, color space transform, white balance, exposure, pre-contrast, saturation, lift high, halation, glow, blur, grain, separation and contrast, primaries, invert lift, warm lift, greens, lift poles, and then I have final contrast, LUTs, hue, skin soft, skin tone, warm, cool, endpoints, and custom and sharpen. So I'm actually gonna play that entire music video right here on this video. So I'm gonna put a timestamp here to skip it towards the next sections where we'll either talk about editing, more filming, the story behind this entire thing. But I'll just let that music video play. It's about 2.5 minutes. So you can sit back, relax, and watch my first ever iPhone music video. So at the end of the day, this is all the gear we used to shoot the video. Was this tripod that I just bought for content filming to be able to film on my phone because the gear is stolen. Just an update on that with insurance and everything. The gear itself was not insured. Some stuff was still under warranty, but that's not theft. Basically, we reached out to the car's insurance. They didn't have any good theft policy of items out of the car. They told us to go to homeowners insurance, which we checked with ChatGPT, and that's actually pretty correct thing to do. And our deductible on that was $5,000, which is pretty much everything that was stolen out of the car physically itself. In all, it was about 10 grand. But back to this. This is the exact tripod we used for the still shots. I believe it's a 71-inch tripod, and it did come with little feet, but I added my own DJI one for the other day. Again, the 70mm shots, I'll try to put it in right here, but they were just too noisy. I don't know why. I think it actually just cropped on. It didn't use the third lens properly or something. Again, I'll try to link some of this in the description. But overall, not a bad gimbal for like $30. This is the special part. Because if you don't know, when filming on the Blackmagic app, apparently 1250 ISO is the best for dynamic range on the iPhone log format. That being said, if you want to keep your shutter angle correct, your shutter speed, which at some points I didn't, then you do need an ND filter. And this one I believe is a ND2 to 32, which is a 1 to 5. Honestly, was not strong enough at the brightest points, so I would advise either upping the strength on this exact one or buying one literally from 1 to 9 stops, because 5 honestly wasn't even enough. So how it works is this little screw goes about face toward you, so that will be on your screen. I did end up taking my case off, but again, I'm not filming manual, and then this little knob tightens onto your screen. This is out front, and honestly, it worked very well. If you do not plan to use the 1250 ISO, or if you're okay with moving your shutter speed a little bit, then this will be decent for most scenarios. But that's literally everything I used to shoot the entire video. Now, again, I do sales, so I actually need to get on my sales today. What I do for video is, again, I do cold outreach. It's not a pretty format, I know, but I'm not at the point to where I have the money to spend on ads, which you should spend minimum on your first ad about $1,000. And then you actually have to learn how to create a good ads and create a good offer for your ads. So again, I'm not at that point yet. And yes, I have some savings, but that's being saved for things in specific. That's not really enough even to buy too much camera gear. So I have things that I collect and sell. So I'm selling on eBay. I have about 5 ounces of silver, which is $130. They take 13% out of fees with eBay and PayPal. So I'll end up with, $115 for this silver. And one camera part, because I do have a bunch of old camera accessories that I have. I, again, am also a gear junkie. So I'll go to my physical room right now. And I have this new Nissi filmmaker kit. It has a 1 to 9 ND. It has all the step-up rings, pouch, black mist, and an ND, which is pretty much a 1 to 5 stop and a 4 stop. And yeah, it's pretty much all new. Stuff is lightly used in here, but everything is great. Selling it right now. If anyone wants to physically buy this, I'll sell it to them shipped for $415. But otherwise, it's on eBay right now for $450 after fees and everything. I'll probably get like low 300s or something, or high 300s. But then again, I would love your guys' information and tips as well. Because, again, I'm not in a great scenario. I'm in a fact to where I knew when all this gear was stolen, I know insurance is cheap. I know it is, especially, I had it in my mind in the beginning that the little, warranties and stuff that they sell for like $300 each for like a year, they're a bit overpriced, and I knew that. So I knew there was some other way around it. That I eventually found out that you can get an entire gear policy for like $300 a year to cover 25 grand in gear, which my friend just got quoted for. So I know I made a mistake. And I was in Oakland. I made mistakes, but then again, I was in a situation where I didn't think it would happen. And I'm usually pretty aware when things could happen. Wrong place, wrong time, a couple things on my part, a couple things out of my control. But at the end of the day, that's what happened. And I have to live with it. Again, I could have been stabbed. I could have been shot. That's not uncommon out here. And I'm thankful that none of that happened. And I still was able to grab my gimbal. And I still have a few accessories. I have some Sony batteries still. I have my color checker. I have all my Rode microphones, which is good. So I still got $1,200 in usable gear, but I do need a camera and a lens. That's kind of where I'm stuck at. So I don't know if I need to... I still have my Sony FX3 top handle, so I don't know if maybe I sell that too and buy another one in the future to raise a little more money. That might be something I have to do, because I don't necessarily use the top handle right now, and that's okay. I have other microphones that can attach to the hot shoe. Again, I might just end up buying a used FX3, or maybe starting off with an FX30 just to get something in my hand, a ZVE1, a ZVE10, whatever the one's called. I think it's the ZVE1, which still has a native full frame 800 and 12,800 ISO. which is great. So that might be the camera I actually end up going for, quite possibly. I think it's just literally just a smaller form factor. You probably miss out on a couple things, but I'll watch some videos and see. Maybe the ZVE1 might be my go-to. If as long as it has a medium fan. I love to have a fan. I hate overheating while shooting, and it's just not good when that happens. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because I don't want you guys to miss a single upload. I'm starting to upload about twice a week now, so you'll also see my updates, struggles, journeys, like what recently happened. So I will hopefully see you guys all in the next video. Check out the GoFundMe in the top link of the description.